You've been told that your hair is dry and that your scalp just simply doesn't produce enough oil. You're black. Shampoo is the enemy. What if I told you that all of that was a lie? Today, we're gonna break down the real reason why so many black women are experiencing thinning, balding, CCCA, different forms of alopecia, especially alopecia areata, scalp inflammation, and thinning edges. And today, I'm gonna break down how co-washing started off everything. I know. Product buildup, the curl typing chart, and what we're tackling today, co-washing, and none of these things were ever scientific. So let's get into part one, the co-washing craze.
I am back! What it do, baby?
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Let's rewind back to the early 2000s. I am the class of 2008 myself. But this is before that. A brand called WEN, by the name of Dean, launches the first mainstream co-washing or conditioner-based cleanser. Shampoos because they're bad, no sulfates because they're bad, just all moisture. Sounds amazing, right? Not really. But here's what they didn't tell you. WEN was never actually formulated to cleanse the scalp. It used these two additives, but absolutely nothing antimicrobial or antibacterial. There was no ingredient present to kill yeast or different forms of bacteria. In this video here, I teach you guys all about the different forms of yeast and bacteria that live on the human scalp. In this video, I only gave you 27, but there are about 1,000 different forms of yeast, bacteria, and 2 parasites that live on the human scalp right now as we speak. But WEN co-washing conditioner never did anything to any of them. Let's keep going. But by 2010, you had brands like Diva Curl that ran with WEN Cosmetics whole co-washing conditioner thing. And I need you to keep in mind that the majority of people who are preaching this in the Team Natural community were not even alive. Well, y'all were alive, but y'all was little. Y'all was saying, "Mommy, can I have some chicken? Mommy, I got a boo-boo." Like, that's what y'all was doing when this was happening. But let's get back into it. By this time, by 2010, they told y'all to stop using shampoos altogether in the Team Natural community. Listen, but I'm gonna break down why in a second. This is the year that I got my cosmetology license, so I'm not a person from the outside making a perspective on what I think. I'm telling you what I know. I've been behind the chair since this year. Mind your business. So then here comes the curl typing chart, right? Because remember, first we had WEN Cosmetics, right? First we had WEN, and we already talked about that. You already watched that video. Then after that, Diva Cuts. But around the time Diva Cuts came out, right, and Diva Curl came out, they were also doing their cutting for curls, and so many black women that were already following the whole thing with WEN. Once WEN had all of these lawsuits and all of the things, they jumped to another brand, right, which was Diva Curl. So when Diva Curl products came out, everybody went over there, and they didn't come up with anything new. They literally took the things that the dude who started WEN, that everything that they created, put their own little twist on it, and it was like, oh, here are curly cuts. Where mind you, when it pertains to curly cuts, it's not a thing. There are, in cosmetology school, you are taught to only cut hair when it is stretched. Curly hair is stretched when it is dry and straightened. And when we're talking about Caucasian hair or hair closer to that texture, it is stretched when it is wet. So they will cut their hair wet and then scrunch it to create curls, and then keep on, figuring it out. But because the whole co-washing thing was coming in, because before that, cosmetologists had a set way to do hair, the good ones. I'm not speaking of Shalissa and Talicia's and them that you go to, and I'm not speaking of some random girl that you found on YouTube and you just went in there, you didn't look at none of her work. No, I'm talking about a cosmetologist you've had multiple consultations with, y'all came up with a game plan together, and you have a relationship with her. If that's never happened to you before, girl, you've been going to the wrong people. I ain't talking about them. Licensed cosmetologists had a set standard that they stuck to, and I'm going to tell you something. The good cosmetologists like myself, we have not changed the way that we've done hair from today. They're doing hair still today the same way that they were doing long before the co-washing thing or Team Natural ever started. So let's keep going. I digress. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. A lot of black women started going over and getting the Diva Curl or getting Diva cuts, right? And for this reason, there were a lot of black women who were losing clients. I was one of the black women who was losing clients. I had clients that were like, oh, well, do you do curly cuts? And I'm like, no, you only cut curly hair when it's dry. I don't cut hair wet. And they'll be like, oh, well, this girl, can I show you this video? And then I would say no, and they would be like, oh Sam, well, if you ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna go to this other curly cut salon and then submerge curly salons. But prior to that, remember, the co-washing that happened in 2000, but even before that, in the early 90s, black women were fighting in their own race, right? We were fighting against braiders, women who thought that cosmetology school was completely insignificant. It was a complete and total waste of time because they're black and you have cultural practices, and that should be enough, and we shouldn't be policed because they cut our hair off when we were slaves, and so it's unfair for them to do it now. And they took that to court and won, and boom shakalaka boom, here we go today. So that happened before WEN Cosmetics, where black women were able to make up things and do hair professionally, legally. They fought for that. So for all of the black people that's like, oh, they don't care about the industry, cut it out. The only reason that black women are able to do hair without a license is because black women fought for it. Now remember, the curl temperature has not always been a thing, and certain women that are in a certain age group, if you go to them as a cosmetologist and say something about 4C, they're either not gonna know what you're talking about, or they're gonna roll their eyes at you because they're irritated. That's a YouTube girl, I fell for it type of lingo.
Hairstylist and creator of the Gold System, Andre Walker. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, we don't have just any hairstylist, folks. This was Oprah's hairstylist. Hello.
Yeah.
You are the hairstylist.
For 30 years, yeah.
That's
Can you
amazing.
imagine? Yeah.
How did you get into hairstyling? Because there's always a good story behind it.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, I always was intrigued by hair, and I always played with it, so I started doing my mother's hair and her wigs. When I was in grade school, and by the time I was in high school, I was like doing her wigs for church on Sunday. So that's how it really started.
And people say that doing wigs is difficult, so if you can do wigs, then you can do anyone's hair.
Yes.
Nice, nice. Well, I see you have your natural hair. You came with your curls. That's what we're talking about. There's so many different hair types. There's so many different kinds of women from different walks of life. And you have created a system where you can kind of classify it, identify what's yours, and know how to manage it.
Right. And I created the hair typing system so it'd be easy to identify your hair type, because before we used to talk about hair as a culture or as a race. And we know that within those cultures and races,
That's
they're
true.
all different textures of hair. So I wanted to break it down into 4 categories so people can easily relate to it and know what products to use. And that's what I designed the Gold System based around also for the different hair types.
I know that we're both wondering, what are those 4 types?
Type 1 is for straight hair, and within that group there are different degrees of straightness, coarse and medium and fine. Then number 2 is wavy hair, which is, you know, a slight wave to maybe a little bit of curl.
Well, that might be some of you, Danielle.
And
Maybe.
yeah.
I'm a C wave, I think. Really?
But you blow your hair out too, so it's hard to see right now. And then there's type 3, which is what I am. And Felicia, I think you're type 3 because you blow your hair out straight
I don't know.
off.
I might be type 2, 3, 4, and 5. You might have to add on a whole other type on there.
And you know, that's not unusual.
I feel like I have all of it.
People have a lot of different hair types on their head. So
Okay.
you could have 2 or 3 different types.
And it's one more type, right?
So we're in 3, and then there's type 4, which is kinky texture,
Okay.
which is a very tight, coily, kinky, highly textured hair.
Yeah, I think my natural curls are a little bit looser than yours, so I think I got the curly, the wave, and the kink.
So I think you're probably a type 3
and a half.
Yeah, right, 3.5. Yeah.
So we have these products, and they're all different depending on the type of hair you have?
Well, they're different styling creams for different hair types. So if you're type 1, you probably would use a Get It Straight, just sort of styling cream. If you're type 2, wavy hair, you would use our Beautiful Curls as a leave-in styler. Also, if you're type 3, you could use that. But type 4 also has what I call the Beautiful Kinks, which is a leave-in styler that you can also do twist-outs with also. And with the models that we've done today, I've tried to leave them in their natural texture as much as possible. But a couple like type 4, I twisted her out just so you can see the versatility of having natural hair and
Awesome.
twist it out.
I can't wait to see. Yeah, we have a lot more Oprah questions and hair questions for you. And Andre.
So because so many black women were losing clients and customers to women that were going and doing the Diva cuts and Diva Curl and all of those products, right? They had to compete. So then you saw a rush of black women offering Diva Curls or Diva cuts. And then here comes all these black women going in and getting their hair cut soaking wet. It was never a thing. This happened around this time frame. But prior to that, cosmetologists that I learned from and every other cosmetologist that I ever learned from and came in contact with always taught me to never cut curly hair wet. But it was the new craze with Diva Curl. And then here comes the Team Natural community. In my opinion, professional cosmetologists led the whole Team Natural community. You guys won't agree because, to be honest, once things hit YouTube, it's old, right? But things were happening in the hair industry behind the scenes, and licensed cosmetologists, we had to pay bills. Like booth rent, my booth rent was $360 a week, whether all my clients showed up or not. So all of these women that were losing clients to the Team Natural community, to Diva Cuts, decided that if you can't beat them, join them. And I was like, I'm gonna beat them no matter how long it takes. But the majority of black women joined them. So then, because all of these professional cosmetologists joined it and they saw how Diva Cuts was making all of this money off of black women, they decided that they're going to start their own product lines, right? And here comes all of the Wash and Goes and the S.I.Ms. and the Curl's Daughter and the Shea Moistures and all of those. The Bible, right, that everybody in the Team Natural community used, like your end all be all, was that curl typing chart that was made up. So now that you've seen it and heard it with your own ears, that's who made up the curl typing chart. It was never backed by science in any way, shape, or form. Never backed by a dermatologist, trichologist in any field, right? It was something that black women fell for because it was this nice little thing and it made sense. Plus, YouTubers found, myself included, that if you put 4ABCWXYZ in the chat, it would take your views through the freaking roof. But the term 4C4W, it absolutely meant nothing. Supply and demand. And now that they created a buzzword, now all they have to do is make products to tell you, hey, if you're 4C and your hair looks like this and you're going through this, you're lacking moisture, and these are the products that you use for moisture. And when you think about it, all black women did was take all of the other forms of Team Natural, co-wash, and all of the things that failed, and then mix them together and then put the curl typing chart on top of it to sound like it was something different and made up specifically for black women, when in reality none of the things that you guys follow were ever made for y'all. And now the things that women that follow the curl typing chart are dealing with are the same things that the women from Diva Cuts and and WEN Cosmetics, but I digress. We'll get there in a second. Oh, none of this was ever based on actual biology or the human body or anything, but it was amazing for product sales. So now nobody cares anything about what professional cosmetologists tell you to do. Now everything is completely focused on curl typing and moisture, because black women don't create oil, we don't create sebum. Our hair is too curly, and the only way that you identify your curl pattern, which is made up with a product to match it. Oh my god, when you think about it, they really just took the same exact thing that Andre Walker did and twisted it. But let's keep going. This is just my observation. You may see something completely different. Let's talk about the scalp suffocation effect. Here is what really happens to your scalp when you co-wash without actually using shampoo. Sebum builds up, you layer on oils, butters, and greases. Your scalp cannot breathe. Malassezia yeast, it magnifies and grows, right? It produces and grows uncontrollably. Follicles get extremely inflamed over time, and then eventually hair weathering sets right in to the point where you'll begin noticing, like I tell people to do this all the time, take pictures of your hair on a regular basis, your hair, not your wig. Take pictures of your hair, and not just in its natural state, even blown out, so you can see the density of your hair and how it changes over time. Most women, if you look at your hair today and the density of your hair, you'll notice that things have drastically changed since around the time you started following Team Natural practices. Let me tell you something, black people do produce sebum, okay? I have it all over my channel all the time, and women who make changes, they see the sebum. Our follicles are just blocked because of our practices and routines that we pass down from generation to generation, the ones that we fight to hold on to, even though they don't make sense. If you're not cleansing the scalp properly, your scalp turns into an extremely toxic environment that slows down your natural hair growth cycle, and sometimes you end it all together. But I digress. Let's get into the lawsuits. Now, if you don't believe me, I don't really care, because if you check the link in the description box below, you can head over to my blog, and over on my blog I have the link to all of the court documents, so you can read them yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. But guess what? The same exact thing that women were suing for, other races of women were suing for, the women who copied them are now suing different companies that they swore by for the same exact things. So let's go. The first one is WEN's class action lawsuit.
You know, you've probably seen all the infomercials, models and celebrities with that silky, luxurious hair who say it's all thanks to WEN by Chaz Dean. Well, a woman in Aberdeen says she had some similar results until her hair started falling out. She shared her story with our In Focus reporter tonight, Train Doe.
Hey Kelly, Monique Pugh says she's not only embarrassed by her hair loss, but also riddled with guilt for introducing several members of her family to the products. Pugh says she, her mother, and 2 daughters suffered scalp rashes and irritation, and worst of all, hair coming out in clumps.
So, it's hard. I'm glad. I love hats. I have all kinds of hats, and I wear them all the time. But I didn't think that I would have to wear hats to cover something like this up.
Monique Pugh's long, thick hair was her pride and joy. To take care of it, she started using WEN by Chaz Dean hair products about a year ago, after seeing an infomercial on TV.
What kind of results are you getting? Is it results that you wanted? Yes, like the pretty, and being able to, the hair shining so soft right through.
She liked it so much, she bought more and encouraged her mother and daughters to use it.
Everybody's hair was looking great. And then all of a sudden, this stuff started coming out. I have one starting out right around here, where my ear, and then on this side, right there.
Pugh now has bald patches all over her scalp. her mother and 2 daughters began experiencing hair loss and scalp irritation too.
We didn't know what was going on till we saw in the news. Because I saw a few patches and we kept using the stuff. And then when we saw what those 200 ladies were doing and we saw their head, my mom was like, oh my God, that's what's going on with us.
Dallas law firm Christensen Davis is representing 200 people who say they suffered extreme hair loss, breakage, and rashes as a result of using various varieties of WEN's cleansing conditioner. They're suing WEN by Chaz Dean and its parent company, Guthy Ranker. In December, Chaz Dean posted a statement on his Facebook fan page addressing the complaints. It reads in part, I feel the pain of anyone having problems with their hair, but I can say with confidence that I stand behind WEN as much today as the day I launched it. The truth is, there are so many reasons people can have problems with their hair, but WEN isn't one of them.
It took me 3 years to get my hair this long. And for now to just be losing it like that for something that I thought was making me pretty, you know, helping my self-esteem, that isn't, to me it isn't right.
Pugh is now trying to figure out how she and her family members can regrow their hair. She hopes the company can get to the bottom of the mystery as well.
If he can find out what caused the issue in the first place, that would be great. So that no one else who may have the product at home or who may want to use the product will end up with stuff like this.
Pugh and her mother are considering joining that lawsuit. A spokesman for WEN by Chaz Dean sent me a statement saying that more than 10 million WEN products have been shipped since 2008. He went on to say, quote, there is no scientific evidence whatsoever to support any claim that our hair care products caused anyone to lose their hair. There are many reasons why individuals may lose their hair, all unrelated to WEN hair care products. We will rigorously contest the allegations made against our products, end quote.
There were over 21,000 complaints. They had alleged hair loss, balding, and scalp inflammation. There was a $26 million settlement for people who experience these types of things from WEN Cosmetics. There was up to $20,000 per Black women's favorite thing to say is everybody's hair is different and black hair can't do the same thing white hair does, but don't you find it funny that everybody has the same exact lawsuit for the same exact thing after following the same exact practices? Black women were not the first women to walk around with wash and goes. They were not. But what happened when everything went like that, when other groups of women were doing wash and goes, well, not doing wash and goes, when co-washing, we're just talking about co-washing today. When other groups of women started doing co-wash and said, okay, we're no longer going to use shampoo. We're just going to wash our hair with conditioner. We're just going to shampoo with conditioner. They found that they were going bald. They were getting an overgrowth of yeast and bacteria because the only thing that a co-washing conditioner is actually going to do is remove some excess sebum. And I think one of the things that's the most annoying is women who actually started, the group of women who actually started the whole co-washing craze, they all got to the same exact end that y'all did. Think about this. I tell y'all all the time that hair weathering takes anywhere between 6 months to 25 years to show up. Peep game. What's the name of that thing? WEN Cosmetics came out in 2000. Okay, in 2000 I was 10 years old. In 2000, so WEN Cosmetics came out in 2000. They didn't get sued. Women didn't start going bald from using it until 2017. So 17 years later, 17 years after the product came out is when women started to sue, which completely lines up with what I tell y'all all the time about hair weathering. So then if we go to Diva Curls, it was a shorter time frame because most of the women that went over to Diva Curl came from WEN Cosmetics. So they were already going on that. And it wasn't an all white thing. It was on Q VC, there were plenty of black women using WEN. I remember when I first got my cosmetology license in 2010. Yeah, it was either in 09 or 2010 that I received my cosmetology license. So it was around that time, like I just told you, that the whole Team Natural thing started, where black women was like, oh, well, we're gonna do wash and goes. So it was as soon as I hit the industry, I had to go up against Team Natural versus what I learned in cosmetology school. And I really had to tell myself, like, no matter what, I'm not going to be that girl. So when you see me intensely talking about this, like, why is she so passionate about it, is because this is who I've always been. This is how I've always ran my business, and these are things that I've always known. Because from the outside looking in, the Team Natural community, and a lot of y'all aren't gonna like this, from the outside looking in, it looks as if the Team Natural community thought of something different that nobody ever knew, that only works for black women, and it's complete bullshit. And I just proved it to you.
Hey guys, let's turn to our GMA cover story right now. The popular hair care brand Diva Curl is under fire this morning. Several people claiming the company's products have damaged their hair and even caused balding, and now some users are suing. Janae, you've got more on this one. All right, so this one has a lot of people, a lot of beauty influencers and curl enthusiasts talking online. They say the products that were meant to help their hair, that they thought was going to make it more curly, was actually damaging it, and in some cases making their hair fall out. It's the brand that championed the natural curly hair movement. Diva Curl opening salons and certifying hundreds of stylists all around the country with their first-of-its-kind line of products made specifically for curly hair types and textures. But this morning, the popular hair care brand is facing major backlash. A group of consumers filing a proposed class action lawsuit in New York Wednesday against the manufacturer Diva Concepts, claiming that regular use of the products causes scalp irritation, excessive shedding, hair loss, thinning, breakage, and or balding. This suit follows two others filed earlier this week making similar allegations. One of the plaintiffs, Christina Napolitano, says she's a longtime Diva Curl user.
I was fully on it, the full line, in 2015. By 2018, I started noticing a big change. I almost felt as if I had sores on my scalp. I would, say, I feel like my scalp is on fire.
The lawsuit alleges that Diva Curl is knowledgeable of adverse effects of their products, referencing the hundreds of complaints posted on social media. Customers and influencers posting pictures and videos to spread the word about the hair loss and scalp irritation.
Thanks to online social media, consumers have been able to gather together and voice their concerns. Almost like an army, the whole community is gathered together to voice their complaints.
According to the lawsuit, Diva Curl has received multiple FDA complaints beginning in February 2018. The FDA telling ABC News there have been 121 adverse event or product complaint reports where the product was listed as suspect. Diva Curl telling ABC News, we are aware that a lawsuit has been filed. We stand behind the quality and safe use of our Diva Curl products. But according to former Diva Curl fans, the adverse effects on their hair have been devastating.
I couldn't even look into the mirror. This is one of my sources of income, and I thought I was a fraud.
Diva Curl addressing customer concerns on their site, writing, all our products have gone through rigorous testing that has confirmed they are safe and adhere to both quality assurance and regulatory standards. Because many factors determine curl and scalp health, the situation is complex, and we ask for your patience as we work together to provide more answers and address your concerns.
And there's a Facebook group devoted to hair damage and loss that organizers attribute to Diva Curl. More than 40,000 members sharing those pictures, videos, and their concerns. So it's definitely concerning for anyone who's watching her.
None of these ideas are new. None of them are new. And guess what? Every single black woman that followed Team Natural practices. Team Natural is just phase 3 of WEN Cosmetics all over again. First it was WEN Cosmetics, then it was Diva Curl, then it was Team Natural. That's the process. So now, as the people, y'all have to ask yourself, what phase is phase 4 gonna be? Because again, phase 1 was WEN Cosmetics that introduced co-washing. Then we had Diva Curl, then Team Natural, and everybody who led Team Natural now is dealing with the same type of balding that the people from phase 1 and phase 2 dealt with. It's the same.
Mielle's formulas have not changed. Mielle does not have any lawsuits. Mielle's products does not cause people's hair to fall out.
You tell them, girl.
While it's sad to see that people have, they've uploaded videos and, pictures saying that they've experienced hair loss, and that's very sad and unfortunate. And I think that as we navigate our hair journey, we have all experienced some type of hair shedding or some type of hair issues at some point in our lives on this journey. And hair loss can come from a variety of different reasons. But I can tell you that Mielle is not one of those reasons. So, the false information that's being spread on social media is the downside, and we see it with everything that's going on in the world. A lot of information is just coming at us so fast, and we don't even have time to process it. But I just want to be able to set the record straight, that you guys are hearing it from my mouth. I built this brand on social media. I have always stayed rooted in my community. I have always focused on her. Why? Because I am her. My family uses the products. I use the products. This is my hair, and my hair is thriving, and Mielle is a solution. So those that are experiencing issues, we are here to show up for the community and continue to support our community with solution-driven products with high-quality ingredients that help the hair become more healthier and thrive in the long run.
We recently discovered that the original TikTok creator who sparked all of those rumors about Mielle products causing hair loss and falsely claiming that the rosemary mint oil formula has changed, that creator has been paid by one of our competitors.
So I saw the video, and when y'all see a video that actually tags me, like me, y'all send that to me. I want to see that video, because if you've been rocking with me for a little bit, you know that there were many videos and many creators. So I'm just really curious to know how my name got pulled back into this. I still stand with the masses. I stand to the people who I open my platform for them to share their stories, for them to connect. And I think that we all know what's going on here. It's damage control. What's happening here is a brand still not taking accountability. And what's happening here is a whole lot of gaslighting.
Mielle hair product. The Mielle product.
Mielle's product.
Mielle product.
Mielle Organics products.
With Mielle Organics.
Mielle hair oil.
Mielle products.
Mielle.
Unfortunately, I think this is the beginning downfall of this company. So as of lately, the consumers of Mielle Organics has been complaining about bad side effects while using Mielle Organics products, such as hair loss, scalp irritation, and many more bad side effects.
Because Monique is claiming sabotage against Mielle Organics, TikTokers are coming out and saying they do not believe it, because why were there thousands of women coming out in comment sections, hundreds of women making videos, and also men? So they were wondering, how could this possibly be sabotage from one content creator being paid off? There actually are a couple TikTokers who agree with what Monique is saying, but let's go ahead and take a listen to what she had to say about this sabotage situation against Mielle Organics, and then we'll hear from a few TikTokers. Too much tea.
Good evening, you guys. As most of you know, it has always been very important for me to keep you in the loop on this entrepreneurial journey, because I have to be totally honest with you guys, it is not for the faint at heart, okay? especially being a black woman and using my platform to serve and uplift, and knowing that I have always dedicated my platform to serving and uplifting. But this has been heavy on my heart, so I wanted to share this. I've always been very transparent with you all, and in this situation, it is no different. As many of you have been seeing that Mielle has been buzzing in the media lately, and some of you have stood up and shown support like true loyal mavens and mavericks, and I just want to say thank you. I truly, truly appreciate it. But here's the thing. We recently discovered that the original TikTok creator who sparked all of those rumors about Mielle products causing hair loss and falsely claiming that the rosemary mint oil formula has changed, that creator has been paid by one of our competitors. Yes, this creator was earning a commission to promote a competitor's product while spreading misinformation about our products for their own personal gain. And unfortunately, some who joined in on those conversations seem to have ulterior motives as well. So you know what they say, when they go low, we go high, and out of respect for everyone involved, we tried to handle this situation quietly, but it has reached a point to where I feel it's important to be transparent with you all. So just to let you know, the original creator of those false videos have since been removed, because people deserve to know the truth, and they deserve to understand that if there are hidden motives behind the misinformation that they're hearing out here on social media. So it is very disheartening, because I have always operated with a spirit of believing that there is room for everyone to win. But unfortunately, not everyone shares that same belief. So I just want to reassure you guys that our products are safe. They are based on consistent formulas, sourcing, and processes, and they are used and loved by millions of satisfied customers every day without a problem. So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all of the support. I see y'all out there standing up for us in the comments, fighting with people in the comments. I appreciate you guys more than you probably ever know. But now I need your help. Please spread this word and share this message with everyone that you know, because the truth matters, and it's up to us to make sure that the truth is heard. And I've always focused on integrity, because you can never go wrong with being honest and having integrity. And more importantly, I'm always going to stand on business.
CEO of Mielle released a statement talking about, a TikToker was paid to lie about our brand by one of our competitors. Do we look like we was born fucking yesterday? Like, how do you explain everybody's hair loss? Everybody was lying. Everybody was paid by this competitor. Like, be so fucking real. Don't play in our faces like that ever again.
Mielle Products is giving Beauty in Black Netflix series. Like, what's really going on? What's the real tea? Like, Tyler Perry, for real.
I just saw the owner of the Mielle hairline come on TikTok and say that a popular TikTok creator was paid by a competitor to talk down on her products and to, steer the audience away. But I feel like she must not be reading her comments, or she must not have read comments from the Shade Room or any other blog in the past, because we've all have been talking about how that product has been breaking our hair off. And I understand she's saying that the products hasn't changed, everything is the same. Something got to be different, because it used to work very well. Like around 2016, 2017, when I was using it on my clients, it was pretty good. When I started trying to use it a little bit after the pandemic, it just, I don't know, my clients' hair started shedding and things like that. So I switched to K18. I'm a K18 girl. I use all their products. My clients have had phenomenal growth with their hair, so that's what I'm sticking with. But it's just like, I wish she would just come online and kind of take some accountability for the fact that it's not just like one or two girls. Like, if you go and look at any Mielle conversations, you hear the girls in the comments. I mean, I'm not here, but you read the girls' comments, and they are all talking about how that stuff is breaking their hair out. And some of them girls are posting about how their hair is coming out in clumps. And I just wish the owner would just take some accountability and be like, okay, well, let me figure out what's going on with my products, what has possibly changed, and see what we could do. I mean, maybe because it's owned by P&G now, she can't really do that. At the same time, girl, like, I'm sorry to tell you, because as a hairstylist myself, that stuff was breaking my clients' hair off, and that's why I stopped using it. And read your comments.
Black entrepreneurs with no PR reps irritate me so motherfucking bad, because why are you on here talking about that lady took money to sabotage your business, talking about she took commission from a competitor brand in order to promote their products? Girl, you just described a majority of the other content creators on this bitch who promotes products. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The lawsuits are even the same. The same exact things. So, at what point are you gonna stop looking at people like me as the victim and really sit down and start thinking for yourself? Because the reason that most of y'all can't think for yourself is because instead of you thinking clearly, you're always baited with rage. You can't focus on what I'm saying because you're so focused on the fact that I choose to wear my hair straight instead of wearing my hair curly. You're so focused on the fact that I'm not talking like this, hi friends, the whole time, so you can't focus. You're so focused on the fact that this side of my head is shaved that you can't focus. Is her hair like that because she's bald, or what? Because her hair fell out because she wore a weave? Focus. Because if y'all were really paying attention, all of these things are videos that y'all can all go search for yourself online. So I love y'all so much. I want y'all to really check out my blog and look at everything that I put together for you. I know that across social media, everybody kind of puts themselves out there as like the end all be all, and here's all the information here, easy for you to see here on my channel for free. I'm not like that. I love y'all so much, but I love what I do, and I've spent a lot of time and put a whole lot of love into it, so I don't just give it away for free. But what I do is like make videos like this so you can think, because you can think for yourself. Like, they've been rage baiting you. Anybody who's team natural is a freaking follower. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody that says anything that says natural salon, team natural salon, they're copycats. They're followers. I love you. I even have certain people like that y'all love to watch that I won't collab with because they swear by detangling the hair wet, and you want to argue with that. It is literally, it makes no sense. It's not up for debate. The hair is broken down. The hair shaft is made of 3 bonds: the hydrogen bond, the disulfide bond, and the salt bond. When water is introduced to the hair, the bond's broken. So let me ask you a question. Are your bonds stronger broken, or when they not broken at all, when they all together? So do you think you can hold on to something tighter like this or like this? Can I hold on to the pencil tighter when my fingers are locked, right? Like, look at this as a bond. This the hydrogen bond, this the salt bond, this the disulfide bond. Whenever I put water on this, a little piece of water gets introduced, bond breaks, whatever I was holding falls. So can you please explain to me how this is stronger than this? Please, can you explain it? You can't. And until you can, let's stop talking about it. I love y'all so much. If it sounds like I'm irritated, it's because I am. It's because this team natural thing is a full sham. It's always been a sham, and I'm very glad that it's coming to an end. Let me know in the comments below what you think about what I had to say, but be respectful. Don't be rude and extra, because I'm gonna block you, and I really don't want to do that. Okay, let's spread some holiday cheer and stick around to the end, because I made a song for you.
Avocado on your counter, yogurt dripping on your sink, saying it's for hair repair, but baby, tell me what you think. That strand is dead, it can't eat no nutrients, making it through that grease. You doing too much for too little gain, still wondering why your hair won't change. Food don't fix follicles, no way, that's not how growth come, baby. You need blood flow, balance and peace, not eggs and bananas in your sink. It might smell sweet, but that ain't care. You just feeding fungus in your hair. Food don't fix follicles, baby. So stop wasting all your groceries, maybe. Told you once, won't say it twice, but you turn in wash day in a stir fry. The cuticle don't open wide for no smoothie mask or that apple pie. Wanna grow it, feed your gut, use extracts, herbs, now that's what's up. But tomatoes, nah, I'll pass. That's for pasta, not your scalp, sis. Food don't fix follicles, no way, that's not how growth come, baby. You need blood flow, balance and peace, not eggs and bananas in your sink. It might smell sweet, but that ain't care. You just feeding fungus in your hair. Food don't fix follicles, baby. Go ahead and let your fridge be free, baby.